Hello and welcome to another episode of the Woolly Mastodon Creates podcast, episode 47. My name is Tori or Victoria, the mastermind behind the crazy, and thank you for joining me today. Before we jump into today's episode, you can find me in a few places on the interwebs. You can find me on Instagram as Tori Schaffner. I'm most active there, although to be honest, I haven't been quite as active there, but that's where I'm going to be if I'm going to be somewhere. You can find show notes on the blog, woolymastodon.wordpress.com. You can find my project updates on Ravelry, as I am Lil Westy, Lil Westy on Ravelry. And I am on Facebook, I'm just not super active there. And of course, you can find me here on YouTube. So with that, I can't speak, and we're going to jump into the episode today. It is May 22nd. And I have a bruise on my arm, and I don't know where it came from. Story of my life. I actually have an idea where that came from, but well, story to come. It involves a plant shelf. But it is a lovely Saturday. It is a super sunny day. It's hot. It's like, what did I check? It's like 83 degrees outside right now. So the AC is on. Our AC works, which is amazing. But yeah, the AC is on, so yep, we're just kind of sitting in for the day. I might go sit out on the patio a little bit if it's not too intensely hot outside, but it's pretty hot, so we'll see. But yeah, let's jump into the episode. Probably going to be a little rambly over one today as I look out at all the stuff I have to share. But I don't have any finished objects, so that's going to be a pretty quick segment. So we'll just move into works in progress right away. And I actually have things to show this time. So if I can go here and find my basket. I did yesterday organize all of my works in progress, so I kind of know what's going on. But there's an extra needle in here. I don't need that right now. I will need that. I guess that's on the floor. I better not leave that on the floor. I will lose that. But the project you've all been seeing 8 million times. The Shisui Shrug by Suzanne Sommer. I have almost finished the body, so which means I have made a considerable dent on this thing since you last saw it. And let me see where my marker is. I got yarn everywhere. Yeah, so I have worked from that stitch marker right here up, all the way up. I've done all those rows, so I've done probably 6 inches of work on here. But I finished all of the repeats for the shawl part of the sweater. So let me see, before I jump into anything else, let me find some yarn for you. I feel very disorganized today. I am knitting this out of Knit Picks Static. I don't think I mentioned the type of yarn it was from Knit Picks last time. And the Beanstalk colorway, which is my main colorway, and Taos, which is my contrasting. And then you bind off with one additional color. And I ended up raiding my stash, and I have this Hawthorne Fingering Poseidon kettle dye, colors Poseidon, and I am going to be doing the I-cord bind off in this. So I already have this joined. I am a little ways in, but I didn't start the bind off because then it's going to start to look a little more messy. So hopefully by the next time you see this, the bottom will at least be bound off. I don't know if I'll have started the sleeves yet, but hopefully the bottom will be bound off. But this is actually the bottom, what you're seeing right now, because this is so bunched up on the needles, it's so large. I don't really want to flip it over and lose all my stitches. But this is the bottom, this is the right side. This is what you would normally see. This is the wrong side, which actually looks really cool too. Maybe I can wear this flipped, we'll see. But as I lose some stitches anyway, look at that. I saved them. We're good. But this is so large on here right now. This is going to be amazing. It is going to be the most snuggly, soft shawl sweater of my dreams. Because that's basically what this is. It's like a shawl with sleeves, which is exactly what I need. So this is what it's looking like. Just imagine this with this color. It's gonna fit. I have the tag in it, so it looks kind of weird, but it's gonna look beautiful. I thought about some other colors. I also could have looked to order something online, but I didn't really want to order one single skein of yarn. just for this project and not even use the whole thing. So I opted for something I had in my stash. But that is actually a lot farther than it has been. So that is my first work in progress. My second work in progress is I've been working on my granny stripe blanket, but again, really nothing to show right now. But I worked on, sorry for the Velcro, I worked on my granny square blanket for my grandma. And I have these little, like the pouches you get when you buy sheet sets, and I just reuse them for stuff. I use one for a, what is it? Clothespin bag? That's what I was going for. And then this one, I just decided to put, I have realized that it would be smart to kind of hold back the ones I've completed so I can actually show you. But I've completed an entire pouch worth since we last spoke, which I guess it's been 3 weeks. Sorry about that. Last weekend was a little busy, but I did a bunch of this color granny square, and then I'm adding in white as well. So I did a bunch of those. And how many did I do? I should have counted these ahead of time. 2, 4, 14, I think I did 16 or 17. I did a whole bunch of them, and I realized I kind of laid these out because I have a bunch that were done beforehand, and I think I'm going to need about 80 to finish this, so I'm over halfway done with the squares for this blanket. But I have, the only 2 colors I used were the white and the green in the recent colors that I've put in here. So I'm not sure what I'll do when I connect them, what color I'll use. The white is obviously a little thicker than the green, but that's fine. We'll make it work. But yeah, I have done a significant amount of work on those. I'm just using Red Heart yarn, and if I can find my crochet hook in this bag, I think this is a Clover US H 5mm hook. And actually, just kidding, I'm using some Craft Smart Value. A couple languages on here and it confused me. Sorry, it completely derailed me. But I'm using some Craft Smart Value yarn I had in my stash. And then the rest is, so it's basically a different type of, it's a different brand, but it's essentially Red Heart. And then Red Heart Super Saver for all of the green thus far. And that's how far I've been working on these. They've been really great to just mindless project to work on. So I did a whole bunch of those. Now these can go and join the rest of the family. Last but not least, in works in progress, I worked on my socks. I'm trying to remember why I worked on my socks. I was somewhere and I worked on my socks. Oh, that's why. Because I ended up going out of town. I ended up going to visit my grandma and see my dad for a weekend. And I cast on the second sock of my 12 socks from my dad. So the black is Knit Pick Stroll, it just in black. And then the green is Yarn Bee Authentic Hand Dyed Total Hazel Basil. And I started and got this far on the sock. And then I did knit some rows at work. So now that it's started, I can actually knit it at work. So this is the second sock. And I have put some work on it. I am currently knitting these on a US, I believe these are a 1.5, which would be a 2.5mm needle. And these are my Sock Rocket needles, which are really nice. But yeah, I have actually like half of a foot done already, so this is really nice. And this is the yarn, this is how much I have left. I have quite a bit left. And yeah, that was the other thing I worked on. I got some solid work on that. It was just kind of nice to knit on it and get it started so I can actually knit on it at work. But not much to show there. So really not a whole lot to show, although I do have something that I'm about to cast on, so that will be a little different. So yeah, with upcoming cast-ons, since the yarn is already caked, I will be knitting a tank top for myself out of some yarn. This is the Malabrigo Machida in the color Storm. And I have 2 skeins. And I found a nice pattern online for like a loose tank top that I can knit just to like wear around the house. and it is in this beautiful color here. And I have both yarns, or both skeins caked up. So I've got 2 skeins. 2 skeins should be more than enough. If I have to add something, I will. I am experienced knitter with Yarn Chicken, so I have played Yarn Chicken many times. But yeah, so I have 2 skeins. 2 skeins in theory should be plenty, so I am going to knit that up. I just have it in a bag right now. But yeah, this will be my upcoming cast on. I'm really looking forward to casting this on. So it sparked my interest to knit it, and so if something sparks my interest that much that I wind up the yarn, I obviously should start it, because Yarn Mojo is, Knitting Mojo I should say, is hard to find. So yeah. And that's actually going to be knit into the Breeze Racerback by Jessie May Designs. So, no idea what needle size I'll use yet or anything like that, but the yarn is caked up, so, and the pattern is printed, so we got that far at least. Otherwise, I don't have any stash enhancements, so we'll move into Non-Knit Loves. My first Non-Knit Love is a weird one. I have needed to replace my work backpack for a while, because the one that I have been using is an old backpack I had in college, and all of the zippers, only one side works. If I use the other side of the zipper, it does the weird back thing and it opens up. Now the inside is ripping open. So I was like, okay, I need to replace this. So we were at thrift stores yesterday, and I found an Eddie Bauer backpacking backpack. Very good quality, but the strap was ripped. And I saw that, and I wasn't going to get it, and then how much it was super cheap. I was like, you know, I'm going to get this, and I'll just sew the strap. So I did. I bought the backpack, and yesterday I sewed up the strap, and it is as good as new, and it's a really great quality backpack. So that was kind of a nice find to find at a thrift shop, because that is an expensive brand. And it's a very well made backpack, so hopefully that'll last me a long time now. But my other thing was the plant saga. I have added a bunch of plants to my collection this past couple of weeks. And I also upped my game with a plant shelf, on my plant shelf I should say, by adding LED lights. So we'll start with when I went to visit my grandma. She has African violets, and she had one that, like, for whatever reason, it really enjoys putting off little babies all the time. And so my dad got the last one because he was looking for one, and then it was putting off another baby, so we repotted it, and I got this one. And it's if you can see, it's been growing for a while. It's a really big one, actually. But yeah, super healthy, super soft. The leaves are so soft. But yeah, I got an African violet. And then this week, my dad came to visit, and we went to we went to a nursery, and then we went to Home Depot. And at the plant nursery, which, it's just so therapeutic to walk through one. This was a really big one in Janesville. So therapeutic to walk through those and just see all the plants. It was so great. But I got 2 plants, and these don't actually they didn't have labels. They just labeled them as foliage in their houseplant section. So I'm not entirely sure what the names of these plants are, although I'm pretty sure these are kind of popular. Are they? Oh, I think I got gnats again from a different plant. But these are pretty popular. So the first one is this guy. I'm not really sure what this is called, but I know this is a more popular one right now. The pot's from Home Depot, so I immediately repotted it because it was in a tiny, like 1-inch starter pot. And then I got this one, which I thought was intriguing, kind of cool to look at. Base is a little damp. Let's wipe that off. I have no idea what this is, but it's really cool. Some of the leaves have some variegation. I don't know if that will continue or if that'll go away and they'll just be solid, but it's a really cool little plant. And this one's actually got some new leaves starting already, so hopefully I can keep that going. All the plants at this nursery were very healthy, so that was kind of nice. And again, pot from Home Depot. And then when we were at Home Depot, I found, what is this one? This is a Marble Queen Pothos. It's in a little tray because it's putting off some water, but let's see. Look at but I got a Marble Queen pothos. This is what I was looking for. I was looking for a pothos because I like how they can trail. And the nursery didn't have any. They had spider plants galore, but we all know that I do not need more spider plants. And I'll actually, probably after this, I'll include a clip of some of the video I took of my plant shelf with my new lights on it, because I reorganized it, and now you can see just how many spider plants I actually have. And I kind of let them go, so I had to cut off so many shoots with so many babies on it. I'm like, okay, we need to start over. But they're very happy. They're very happy plants, but I wanted to add a pothos to it. So this one caught my eye. It's a very beautiful plant. I really like it. So hopefully I can learn to take care of this guy. And yeah, have a nice little pothos. So I got those. When my dad was here, he took a look at the plant shelf I have, because it's one of those wire mesh or wire rack plant shelves. And we were like, well, how would I put grow lights on here? Or not like grow lights. We ended up just getting, I just ended up getting LED lights, which work just fine. They're not the full spectrum, but they work. And was just like, I don't know how I'm going to install these. Well, some very, very smart people on the internet used like UV resistant zip ties. So that's what I ended up doing. And the plant shelf is looking super nice. I reorganized it. I used to keep my work in progress basket on one of the shelves. I rearranged, and that's where I probably got the bruise from. I had to reset some of the heights on the shelf, so I'm sure I managed to bang myself up doing that, because you have to use a mallet to get the shelves up. But I ended up making an entire shelf for spider plants that was lower down, because spider plants are safe if cats eat them. So if she gets into that, it's no big deal. It's not going to hurt her. And I have so many spider plants that it'll be fine. So then I reset everything, and yeah, these will have a nice little space. And part of the reason why I wanted pothos is because as long as you keep the plant healthy, supposedly these can be propagated very easily. So I would love to do that and have more plants, because you know I like a good plant you can propagate and make more plants from without spending any money, because it's very nice. Because right now I did have the money to spend on these, but when I don't have money to spend on them and I want more plants, all you have to do is propagate them. There you go. So that was kind of my plant saga. My husband is just like, you need to be cut off. You have too many plants. And I'm just over here like touching this pothos because I'm so excited I have a pothos now. But yeah, he's like, you need to be cut off now, but I don't know. I want the house to be, our apartment to be a jungle. And I know that's not realistic, because the only room in our apartment that really gets any form of decent light is the bedroom, and the plants are in the window with the good lighting. So if I put a plant anywhere else, I would have to have a grow light in order for it to survive. And I have thought about doing that in the living room. But again, it would probably have to be a spider plant, because I'm not going to tempt Midnight at this window by hanging a plant from a window that she normally sits at. I mean, I'm working on trying to get her to avoid plants, and she's doing good. She's doing good, but, you know, I don't want to push my luck. And then we also got a couple plants for outdoors on the patio. They were like New Guinea impatiens or something that my husband picked out, and I potted them up, and they're out on the patio. So it's kind of nice, little nice space there. But otherwise, let me see. That's the end of Nanette Loves, and that kind of just brings us. It's been life lately too. A couple weeks back, I ended up going to my grandma's for the weekend, and my dad was there, so we visited, and I helped do some chores for her. And then this last week was the first week that I actually took PTO all year, and I took Wednesday, Thursday, Friday off because Dad came to visit, and then he left, but then I had Friday, so I had yesterday, and then the weekend, so it's been kind of nice to just be at home and chill and rest. I did a lot of knitting on that Shishui shrug in the past few days. I did the bulk of the crocheting of the squares when he was visiting, when we were just hanging out. So clearly a little time off has done wonders for trying to get me to feel a little better and get more stuff done. So that has been good. I'm trying to think if I need anything else here, or if I'm forgetting anything. Oh yeah, it was, you probably noticed this was a week late. I was going to podcast last weekend, but I wanted to clean a little extra for when my dad came to visit because he stayed here, and then it kind of just spiraled into spring cleaning. A full weekend of spring cleaning, and I brought some, I can do a lot of small things in a portable washer, but when it comes to like bedding and sheets and stuff, I have to go to a laundromat. And apparently all the laundromats in Stoughton are closed. One of them was boarded up. The other one apparently had a fire last week. And all of Google, of course, said they were all open. So then I had to go to a town over to go to a laundromat. So it was just an ordeal. By the time I got back, I was like, I'm not podcasting. We'll put this off a week. Which actually worked well, because then I have legitimate things to show you. Like I caked up the yarn for the sweater this week, and things like that. And I really want... Now I really want to crochet those plants for my desk at work, because I don't have light there and they're not going to want me to run grow lights, so I definitely need to just crochet some plants for my desk at work. I need to do that. I've been trying to get more into reading. I was finishing up the book in a series, and this is a middle book, and it ended abruptly, and I was so mad that I slammed the book, and it's hardcover, mind you. I slammed the book shut because I was mad at how it ended. And my husband was sleeping next to me, and I, like, it was just really dumb, and I woke him up. He was just like, what's wrong? And it was just me being over dramatic, because I was really mad at how the book ended. So I panic ordered the next one that night. I've never ordered a book past like 9 o'clock at night off Amazon, but I ordered that book off Amazon that night. So yeah, it's kind of just been trying to get back into reading and just enjoying our patio space, which is far more inviting now that we've got a few more plants out there and the lights out there. It feels like ours. And yeah, just trying to enjoy the weather, enjoy that things are starting to slowly but surely become a little more normal in the world. Will they ever truly be back to what was normal? Probably not, but the closest we can get is great. But with that, I'm rambling. You've been here a while. I've had to change out a battery on my camera. I don't have words anymore, so I should probably just let you guys go. If you enjoyed the video, please like, subscribe, share it with your friends, comment below. I would love to grow this little community on the interwebs. A reminder of where you can find me elsewhere on the internet. You can find me on Instagram as @Tori Schaffner. I'm most active there. You can find me on Ravelry as Lil Westy, L-A-L Westy. Show notes are on the blog, willymastodon.wordpress.com. I am on Facebook, I'm just not as active there, and of course you can find me here on YouTube. Let me see. Am I missing anything else? I'm looking around. I don't think so. So with that, I hope you have a wonderful week ahead. I'll see you in my next episode. Bye.